What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls? Joker back again, once again. So, picking up from part 1, I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about Spartan 3s, and why it would be odd that a couple of Spartan 3s would be on the don't hate the Covenant hype train. Spartan 3s, by their very nature, would in all likelihood be the most prejudiced group of Spartans against the Covenant. Spartan 2s were originally designed to put down human insurrection. Spartan 4s are just normal military people. Spartan 3s? Spartan 3s are where we get the orphans who volunteered to kill the Covenant, because the Covenant killed everyone and everything they knew or loved. Out of all the groups of Spartans to choose from, our writer chooses the war orphans, and the funny part in all of this is Molly, ironically enough, is about the right age to be a Gamma Company Spartan, 15 or 16 years old. And given her backstory, she would have been the ideal candidate, assuming she fit the genetic template for Spartan 3s. And I really want you to think about that for a second. Within the context of our story, Molly has, after the glassing of Paris 4, had a relatively nice life. She had people to take care of her, people who loved her. Yes, she lost her family and it was horrible, but she had people there for her. She had help. That wasn't the case for the Spartan 3s. They were indoctrinated into the UNSC. The hatred they had for the Covenant was stoked and fostered. Take what most people know about the Spartan 2s and the Spartan 2 program from Halo 4 and amplify that. Spartan 3s are still Spartans, but as we saw with Noble Team in Halo Reach, they either fit the straight-laced Spartan mold like Carter or Noble 6, or they're rebellious like Kat, or they have psychological issues like June and Emil. In all honesty, Spartan 4s or hell, even Spartan 2s would have been better equipped to have this conversation if we had to have this conversation at all. Spartan 3s, on the other hand, yeah, no. And then on top of that, to have it be Tom and Lucy, of all people, the only surviving Spartan 3s from Beta Company? Let me go ahead and contextualize this. Tom and Lucy watched 298 of their fellow Spartan 3s be ripped apart by the Covenant. This event was so traumatic that Lucy didn't speak again until after the Human Covenant War was over. And when she did, it was to bitch out Dr. Catherine Halsey. Not only are these two sociopathic killing machines as designed, but you would imagine that through their training, through the battles that they've gone through, well, the Human Covenant War and the very nature of the Human Covenant War, you would imagine that these Spartans would have a very deep-seated hatred for the races of the Covenant. Apparently not! Look, I get wanting to make an allegory for getting over preconceived notions of what or who somebody is based on what their culture or race has done in aggregate. It's a great message. It really is, because individuals should be held accountable for individual actions, not for the actions of the group or the species or the religion or any of that other nonsense. However, there are just better ways to do this. You don't do it by literally sitting a point of view character down and having them lectured about how wrong it is that they are letting their past traumas at the hands of a genocidal alien race dictate how they interact with said genocidal alien race. More so, when the war ended, oh wait, it didn't, as we've already established, it just kind of turned sideways. This is a 405-page book. Believe me, you have time. You can show the main character that their preconceived notions are wrong by having them interact with characters that happen to go against their, gasp, shock, preconceived notions. This is how good writing is done. You don't do that by sitting the character down and lecturing the character, and by virtue of lecturing the character, lecturing the reader. Point is, not only is it ludicrously preachy, attempting to force this allegory of peace and understanding when not 5 years prior humanity was on the brink of annihilation, but the author just doesn't respect the world. I mean, just look at how out of character Mendez is. Look at how out of character the Spartan 3s are. Look at how, I mean, in his other book, he just killed the rookie. Just killed him. Just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, bullet to the head. And then Mickey, of all people, betrays Buck and Romeo? What? Are you fuck and or shitting me, dude? Come on. Respect the universe. The author just uses the characters as mouthpieces to force feed the main character a narrative. Had it been, say, Molly's adopted parents, who are researchers, having this conversation with her, and, you know, having probably worked with Sangheili and Grunts and Jackals and the former races of the Covenant, you know what? Hey, you know what? I could buy that. I could buy that they'd be like, hey, yo, you know, we get that your trauma was terrible, but hashtag not all genocidal aliens are genocidal aliens. But Spartans, and I'm not talking those dime store impersonations that are Spartan 4s. No, I'm talking like real, actual Spartans. Having a heart-to-heart with a 16-year-old. What? 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 It shows a categorical lack of understanding for what Spartans essentially are. Spartans are a weapon of last resort, not in their deployment, but in their making, because you are literally breaking a human down to being nothing more than a highly lethal killing machine.
Tell me about the children. Dr. Halsey.
You already know everything.
You kidnapped them.
Children's minds are more easily accepting of indoctrination. Their bodies more adaptable to augmentation. The result was the ultimate soldier.
Do you think the Spartans' lack of basic humanity helped? Records show Spartans routinely exhibited mildly sociopathic tendencies, difficulty with socialization and verbalization.
The records show efficient behavior operating in hazardous situations. I supplied the tools to maintain that efficiency.
Do you believe the Master Chief succeeded because he was, at his core, broken?
Now, that's just the Spartan 2s. Go ahead and add a level of mindfuckery that can only come from watching everyone and everything you know die at the hands of the Covenant. Multiple times, mind you. It's all nice to try and say that Spartans are more than just military hardware, but dealing with their humanity is not something Spartans do well at all. Spartans are renowned for being reclusive, unless with other Spartans. I mean, look no further than Halo 4's end conflict, which ultimately has John coming to terms with what it means to be human.
Mind if I join you?
Of course not, sir.
At ease, Chief. Feels kinda odd for you to call me sir. Beautiful, isn't she? I don't get to see her often enough. I grew up in New Harmony. Attended Corbulo Military Academy. Never saw Earth in person until I was an adult, but I still think of her as home. You don't talk much, do you? Chief, I won't pretend to know how you feel. I've lost people I care about, but Never anything like you're going through.
Our duty as soldiers is to protect humanity, whatever the cost.
They say that, like, soldiers and humanity are two different things. I mean, soldiers aren't machines. We're just people. I'll let you have the deck to yourself.
She said that to me once. About being a machine.
Ultimately, I don't terribly mind the message that the author is trying to convey here. However, it's the vehicles that the author is using to convey that message and how it's being conveyed that I do mind. It's a disservice to the universe. It's a disservice to the characters. It's a disservice to the message itself. And it's just bad writing. But, moving forward, the B-plot of this book centers around a group of Covenant who call themselves the Servants of Abiding Truth. They are an ancient religious order of Sangheili fundamentalists who follow their species' pre-Covenant religious beliefs. Following the Great Schism and the fall of the Covenant, the Abiding Truth became one of the more prominent splinter groups among the Sangheili. And, of course, they believe that humanity is desecrating Forerunner relics for their own gain, and wish to just kind of continue killing off humanity.
War. War never changes.
The Pale Blade and his crew get onto Onyx through the portal that Jewel M. Dama used to escape Onyx, which Oni somehow forgot to destroy, even though they knew that he used that portal to escape Onyx. Oh, this is also when Jewel M. Dama learned about Requiem, which kicked off the events for Halo 4. Once on Onyx, the Pale Blade and his goons set about trying to find a bigger portal. So they concoct the idea, well, you know what, if we can't use our engineer to find a bigger portal, maybe we should kidnap one of the engineers that are native to Onyx and they'll be able to help us. And of course, hijinks ensues. During the Pale Blade search for a new engineer, one native to Onyx, they find a hangar, and this hangar is full of weapons and gear and awesome things. It's also a hangar that the teenagers of our story just so happen to be taking a field trip to. Again, hilarity ensues. People almost die, Pale Blade and his goons fail at their mission, and the children save the day. During all of this commotion, the Pale Blade notices one of the elites hanging with the students. He recognizes him, and it just so happens to be, drum roll please, bada, his brother. Dum dum dum! This is fucking dumb! The Pale Blade and his elites fuck off for the vast majority of the story. Yes, they're doing things. Yes, there's a little bit of internal conflict, but by and large, they fuck off for the rest of the story and don't do anything till the end. So we go back to the teenagers. Yay! One of the things that I skipped over at the beginning, just because I wanted to get the B-plot out of the way, is at the beginning of the book, Molly has her first day at school, and she notices two 16-year-old boys picking on, and you can't make this shit up, an elite. Two 16-year-old human boys are picking on an elite. Two fucking 16-year-old human boys are bullying a motherfucking elite. Nope. I'm done. Fuck this. Fuck this video. fuck Matt Forbeck, fuck whomever at 343 fucking Industries read and approved this fucking god-awful book. Fuck the Amazon reviews of this book. Fuck this, fuck that, but most importantly, fuck this fucking... Okay, so I've been informed that I have to finish this video. So this elite, who is, to be fair, a pacifist, is getting pushed around by two 16-year-old human boys. I can't even believe I fucking uttered that sentence. What the actual fuck is wrong with the people behind this book? Legacy of Onyx? More like Legacy of shit all over on. Shot after shot, it numbs the pain, with nothing left to lose and nothing more to gain. Better! So, perhaps I should, for those of you just now joining us, contextualize this. Just watch this.
Who's next? I'm ready! How about you?
See that? That was an elite lifting a Spartan in 1,000 pounds of armor with one fucking hand. Elites are as strong, if not stronger, than Spartans in full armor. So there is a level of insanity here that is on display that I did not even think was possible. But then Molly, a grunt, and a guy we're gonna name Friendzone come to save the day. They get into a fight, Molly gets punched the fuck out, the grunt gets her rebreather punched to the other side of her head, and the elite does nothing. But before it could get out of hand, a teacher comes along and stops the fight. Yay! They all get suspended for a couple of days, but Molly says, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going back to school, and stays home for a week. Only to have, and you know what? This is probably the most absurd thing I've said yet. Only to fucking have a Spartan, like this is some YMCA Big Brother outreach program, or some really shitty episode of 90s Power Rangers, come to her house to check up on her. And just like some shitty episode of Power Rangers, Lucy, the Spartan 3 that comes to visit her, then tells her, hey, you know what? If you go back to school, I'll give you self-defense lessons. What? Hello, vodka, my old friend. I see you've come to talk again. And the visions that were planted in my brain still remain under the sound of silence.